Never stop looking for Linda. There's one for the children of the 80s. But this week it's La Linda and she's in Caranavi.
My name is Steve Layton and I travel the world finding amazing and delicious coffee for you to drink at home. Some make coffee difficult to understand and complicated, but here it's my job to make it easy and fun and tell you what's in my mug.
Near Belinda, the Belinda colony in Los Yungas, this was Agricaf's, which is Daniela and Pedro Pablo's farms. This was the first one they purchased. It's only 10.5 hectares in total, and only 4 of those are used for coffee production. It has an altitude of 1,400 to 1,550 metres above sea level, and the varietals include Longbury, San Bernardo, and Caturra, and this lot is the Caturra. The farms, as you've seen, are just beautiful. They're just like beautifully manicured and laid out, and La Linda is definitely growing into one of our favourite farms. Okay, so what we're going to do here is a cupping with Caturra, which is the coffee that you have this week, and the Longbury, which is an unusual varietal dating back to Ethiopia, we believe, and called Longbury because it has a long seed inside and the berries are typically long. I have my mud jug with me. A mud jug is for spitting coffee into because when you've had too much coffee, you can't really operate very much. But I promise to do it when I turn my back to you. I won't spit on camera, but I don't need any more caffeine in my life today. Very normal for cuppers to not actually drink the coffee they're cupping because it can cloud your palate a little bit. So, what I'm tasting is, it's really creamy. It's almost kind of like envelops the tongue. I want you to think Horlicks, but there's an acidity in there. And if Horlicks want any brand ideas, you should definitely come up with chocolate orange Horlicks because it has a chocolate orange kind of sweetness to it, going in with that kind of malty, creamy thickness, and that is transferred into the mouthfeel as well. You know, it's kind of buttery. This is the weirdest way to cup, but I'm sure somebody will be offended and send me an email if I spit on camera. It's creamy, it's buttery, it's chocolatey, and it has a beautiful orange acidity. So let's compare that alongside its Longbury relative. So these coffees are grown on the same farm, by the same people. They're processed in the same place, in exactly the same way. They're both washed. But oh my days, they couldn't be more different. You have like a fruit juice sweetness in this one, and it's like jasmine, lemony zest. It's all acidity in this one, where this one is very much about the sweetness with a hint of orange. This is very much about kind of florals, kind of citrusy, fruit juicy, and the finish is so long. Now you're going to ask me which one I prefer, aren't you? Well, actually, I like them both for different reasons. I think this would make an absolutely amazing espresso because of that high sweetness and the mouthfeel and the texture. I think this would get lost in espresso. It would be much more kind of like a punch of acidity in the face. Whereas this in brewed, that's going to sing. This is going to sing in there, but it's not going to have the complexity. This is going to be all about complex acidity and complex kind of like fruit notes. But a really interesting thing to do side by side. And if you get a chance to cup a coffee from the same farm but a different varietal, it just makes you understand, just like the first time that you have a Cab Sav and you have, I don't know, Malbec. In my brains, and you taste those and you go, yeah, that's red wine. Then you taste them side by side and go, wow, they're different. This for me is one of those times where you suddenly get that coffee varietals can be super different. Regular viewers will see that my plants are still not getting very healthy, even though I sing to them every night and talk to them. This is Bob, this is Jenny, this is Simon, this is Matilda, this is, oh, forget it, the rest. Anyway, what I want to talk to you about this week is really not something I want to talk about, but I'm going to show you some photos on the screen now. At La Linda, the way that they have planted the new farm, so when you get a chance to plant a new farm, you get a chance to lay it out exactly how you might want it to be. And you can see from these photos that the lines are just beautifully crafted, very, very kind of like, it's crafted into the hill. There used to be quite a lot of trees there, and that obviously is quite damaging to, you know, part of what is the Amazon forest. But what they have done is they've taken some other parts of land that they couldn't plant coffee on and planted some trees there. So trying to kind of be in harmony with, you know, producing coffee and having this beautiful layout of the coffees, but also having protected forest areas that are going to help the environment and bring birds and insects into the area that are going to only help you know, the coffee production in the area. It's very unique for somebody in Bolivia to take this kind of care with the ecological side of things, and that's purely because they see the damage that they're doing to the farms and they're really trying to address it. So La Linda, a farm we know well, and we've already cupped this coffee, so we know lots of the descriptors that I'm gonna spill out of my mouth, but let's dive in and confirm them. So the orange is much bigger in the brood than it was in the cupping bowl, but the mouthfeel is still there. So I want you to think multi Horlicks mixed with that chocolate orange, and it's melted chocolate. It's thick mouthfeel. It's got that beautiful buttery finish. But even though it has all of this complexity going in there, it's actually really easy to drink. It's like, I'm enjoying this. This is just like, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna finish this whole Chemex. I'm good. I'm in a good place. I hope you are too. Thank you for joining me. Please do come back, because honestly, I don't know what I'd do if you didn't. And do remember, life is too short for bad coffee.